Welcome back to Thanks Power Up, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Steve. So, 3 weeks till pairing. What are we going to talk about in this video? It's something a little different. The simple truth is everything we do is repetition. We stand in offhand, we have our position, we just constantly do it. We get in sitting, same position. We just repeat, repeat, repeat. So we're going to talk about something a little different today. Things I've had challenges with in the past, and I'm sure there's others out there who had similar challenges because they speak to me on the firing line. The first thing I'm going to suggest to us is why do we have so much stress in our body? I've asked the question. I've asked it to everyone. They've told me, no one cares you're here. Focus on your shot process. It's Camp Perry. You have to shoot these events to get over it. I can tell you honestly, none of those things work for me. So I'm going to share with you some things that I do. I always have a little bit of anxiety when I get to places where there's a lot of people around. Okay. And for me, one way I can overcome that is to focus on my process. So something I see a lot, and I don't know if it affects people or not, I'm just observing from the outside, but when you get to that firing line, be buttoned up. Have your jacket button, mags loaded, data book attached to your cart. Already know where you're going to stand when we were at roll call. Find your spot you're going to stand for offhand. So when they say relay whatever to the firing line, you get in the firing line, you take your position. Now you basically have almost 7 minutes to build your position. These 7 minutes are valuable time. You have the 2 minutes before the 3-minute prep, and then you have 2 sighting shots. So as long as you keep that ECI in the rifle, you can pick your rifle up and you can build your position and get your NPA, do whatever you want as long as you don't dry fire. Now when you're in dry fire, for me, I don't necessarily focus on pulling the trigger right away. I make sure that when I mount the rifle, we all know how I do it, and I look down the scope finally, that I'm pointing on my target and where I want to be. At that point, if I like what I see, I'll break the shot. But my primary focus in prep is building my position and getting my natural point of aim and helping me relax. Then of course we take our 2 sighting shots. So you have 2 minutes to take 2 shots and still continue working on your position. So the first thing for me is to keep everything in order, be organized when I get to the firing line, not be distracted by anything. That's one less thing I have to think about. Again, it may not bother other people, but for me this is something that I need to do to take that piece of that little anxiety of the puzzle out for me, if you will. Now, the other thing I want to suggest to you, I've asked the question, and I said this earlier, how do I get rid of this? And pretty much the answer is you just really have to deal with it. Now, what have I done to help with that? And I've been really been working with it a lot. And when I get to any match, doesn't matter, local, doesn't matter, my heartbeat starts to go up just a little bit because I want to do so good all the time. And that's something I noticed about myself, because I want to do so good, I kind of push a little bit. This isn't like working out where you can push that last rep or something. You really got to find some way to relax within that spectrum. And for me, what I've done is, we're going to get to this in a little bit, but I disconnect from what I want as a result, and I focus completely on my position, my shot process, okay? And something I added that I've heard the AMU do, specifically in team matches, is this week when I shot Ridgeville, I started talking myself into the shot. So instead of breaking your shot, saying, okay, I called a 9 at 9 or a 10 at 5, and checking your shot where it is, I'm talking myself into it, meaning that when I get up here, I'm like, all right, you're relaxed. When you see an exit 3, a little exit 3, break the shot. And I get here, a little exit 3, bang. Now for me, I've been coming off the rifle too fast, so I really focus on staying here. And then I put the rifle down and look. Ironically, at Ridgeville, it actually worked. My first shot was an X, so I was like, well, this is really cool. So, I've started to talk myself into the shot. And I did the same thing in slow prone. I dry fired for like 5 minutes because I noticed in slow prone, I will inevitably blow a shot out to the left. And that's because there's too much muscle here and I push the rifle this way. So for me, I found that if I dry fire several shots, 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, okay, then my body settles out more. And I really went on my shot process. I'm like, okay, my shoulders are relaxed, right shoulder, back is relaxed across the middle, my support arm is relaxed. Look through the scope, everything's relaxed. The only thing moving is my finger, my trigger finger. Okay, be a little exit two, bang. Okay, so talking yourself into the shot instead of breaking a shot and making a call and see what the result is a little bit different. And as I said, I've heard the AMU do this. So by me doing those things, it's actually worked out really well for me, because now instead of hoping I'm getting a shot, I'm talking myself into that shot. So it's like it already exists, if you will. It's a little metaphysical stuff there going on. But so I ended up shooting really consistent. So this week I shot a 194 with 6, and it was a 97. I blew a couple 9s out. The rifle was moving up. I'm not saying it's going to be perfect every time, but I was very pleased with my result because it was very consistent. And that's something I did to get that consistency. And it may work for you if you do that. Now, the other thing is, one thing I really never do anymore is I forget to ask you to like and subscribe. YouTube says you should do stuff like that. So if you get a chance, like the video and subscribe. And also check out up here for the Mantis QR code. So you can go to Mantis, purchase one, help out my channel a little bit. They have a new pistol, which I did a review on the other day, which is totally fantastic. I love it. And honestly, Mantis has significantly improved my game because it really lets me know consistency in my position and my shot process. And I dry fire quite a bit, and dry firing is very important as well. So all those things, using Mantis, dry firing, it also helps me with my nervous jitters on the firing line. When I used to go to Perry earlier on in my career, man, I wanted to win, boom. Man, I'm shooting 450s and I want to be on stage, right? So I put all this stress on myself that, man, these guys are so good that if I don't shoot 500, I ain't gonna do nothing. Well, it's just simply not the case. So I'm suggesting to you that to relieve that aspect of the anxiety, if you will, I don't go to Perry expecting to shoot 100 in off him. So I don't go there expecting to do that. This is something that I've been told by numerous people. If you're shooting your average at Camp Perry, you're doing great. So if you get there and your average is a 94, 92, 97, whatever it may be, and you stay in your position and you're like, bang, yeah, that's an X. Bang, that's a 10. And you shoot your average, praise yourself for it, because it's Camp Perry. Camp Perry is like no other. So what I'm saying here is, don't put an expectation on yourself that you've never done before at Camp Perry. Now, you may say, well, if I don't have that expectation, then how am I going to shoot that? But here's the thing. Let's talk about your desire. Let's talk about, I want to get my first leg. I need one more leg to distinguish. I have 30 points and I need a hard leg. Whatever it may be. I want to get to presidents. I've never got to presidents. Okay? I'm going to suggest to you that you feel that feeling of what it would be like for the first leg, last leg, hard leg, whatever it may be. Getting to presidents, getting to Congressional 30 at Talladega 600, whatever it may be. Feel what it would feel like. And then when you get to Camp Perry, forget about it. Totally dismiss it. It doesn't exist anymore. And what I want you to do at Camp Perry, not what I want you to do. I'm suggesting what you do is you focus on your entire shot process, one shot at a time. First shot, bang. Yep, that's what I thought it was going to be. If you shoot a shot you don't like, mark it down, move on. Don't give up because you shot one shot that you didn't like, okay? Don't count your score up all the way to the end. Don't look in the history books and say, well, historically it's been a 478 to get a leg, and I haven't shot a 478 in my life, okay? That doesn't matter. That's history, as it's called, history. Don't look in the records on, Chronos, until the match is completely done. Take one shot at a time, make it a good shot. Stay within your average, and you're going to get your legs. If you do that, you have no choice but to get your legs if you don't put excess pressure on yourself. Talking myself into the shot has really helped relieve the anxiety or nervousness that I have. Feeling my desire before I get to parry and letting it go as soon as I get there. Okay? And just shooting one good, well-placed shot at a time has worked very well for me. The other thing that used to bother me, and I still have a little bit of it in me, and all these things you're feeling, you have created. I have created. It's like if you like Star Wars, you have the Jedi, you have Darth Vader, they all have the Force. It's the same thing. So all the anxiety I have is the same energy as if I'm just here, bang, X, bang, X. So we can control that. If we let fear and anxiety control us, then we're kind of all over the place. For me, being around large groups of people is a problem for me, and even to this day. So the way I've overcome that is realizing that I am the only one on the firing line. So by staying in all my shot processes and just realizing I'm the only one there and letting go of my desire that I have, forgetting that there's 1,000 people on the firing line, it's helped me out considerably, okay? And I'm suggesting it might help you out as well. So as always, hope you like this video. I will see you at Camp Perry. I'll be in the campground again. So have a wonderful day. See you at Camp Perry. God bless.